Howdy and welcome to the Confidence Through Health podcast. I'm Jerry Snyder. As an elite level athlete, owner of All In Health and Wellness, and author of the book Confidence Through Health, my goal is to help you achieve your goals and dreams using health as the conduit to get there. I want to say thank you to Social Media Cowboys for sponsoring this week's episode of the Confidence Through Health podcast. If you need help with a website, if you need social media needs for your business, if you need help with AdWords, SEO, all those things that you know you should be doing but you are too busy to do or you're too confused about, they are the experts that you need in your corner. If you're interested in launching a podcast such as mine, they help me edit my podcast and do a fantastic job making sure that all of the technical side of it is handled and we launch a nice, neat, edited podcast episode each week. So I want to thank Social Media Cowboys for their continued sponsorship of the Confidence Through Health podcast. You can find them at socialmediacowboys.com, or you can find them as well with other sponsors at confidencethroughhealth.com. Howdy and welcome back to the Confidence Through Health podcast. My name is Jerry Snyder, your host. And this week, I wanted to talk about the topic that seems to be what everybody is talking about, which is the COVID vaccine. Now, I'm not going to try and convince you to get the vaccine or convince you that it's a bad thing to do. But really what I want to talk about is the reasoning behind the push to make it a mandate. The reasoning behind the push to make it a mandate is basically because we as a society in the United States did a horrible job of taking care of our health when it became very apparent that was what we needed to do. So in, January, February, March of 2020, when COVID just was starting to bubble up, it appeared that we had a major problem on our hands. There was a virus going around that was attacking people. And I say attacking because it was attacking people who had what is defined as a comorbidity, specifically people that were overweight or obese. These people had the biggest difficulty handling the virus from an immune response point of view. I'm not trying to slam anybody or trying to talk, shaming anybody or anything like that. I'm strictly looking at the numbers of who had the hardest difficulty dealing with this virus. It was people who are obese, people who are overweight, people who had multiple chronic issues. Most of those chronic issues coming from being obese or overweight to begin with, leading to those issues. And if you don't understand how all that works, go back and look at some of my previous episodes because I talk about that and how being overweight and how being obese leads to these other chronic issues. So we knew that was becoming part of the problem. Our country, as America, most of the Western world, because as I talk about in my book, Confidence Through Health, talk about how the Western diet, the SAD diet, the standard American diet, when it goes into other countries and they start adopting the same diet, they start seeing the same health patterns. They start seeing the same obesity rates, the same overweight rates, the same issues with chronic diseases such as high blood pressure, cholesterol issues, heart disease, diabetes. All these things start to happen. So I 100% blame our food supply and the food system and the way we've been eating. So now you look at that and you say, okay, we have this virus that is attacking these people in this spot. What do we do? Well, initially it was going to be extremely rampant based on the way that this virus worked if we didn't do something drastically. And there's very few things that you can do drastically to get yourself in shape from a health standpoint internally in a very short amount of time. I think we all know that. If somebody had that pill, that system, that way of doing things, they would be uber rich overnight because nothing seems to work for everybody. So what do? We have to shut everything down and stop the spread as quick as possible. So we did that. Now, a vaccine comes out, multiple vaccines from multiple companies. And you might say, oh, I don't trust it. I don't. Okay, put all that aside. The vaccine comes out. Numbers go down, both from a decrease in the spread and from the vaccine and from a little bit of herd immunity going on. So things start to come to normal. And we say, oh, okay, we made it past it. Everything's fine. We can go back to the life we lived. In the meantime, during that year, 15 months or so, when we had the opportunity to become healthier, statistically, we did not. The rates of being overweight actually went up. The rates of high blood pressure went up. The rates of heart disease went up. We did not take the opportunity to become healthy as a country. Instead, we let the stress of everything that's going on push us farther down the way that we were already heading. So now a new variant of the virus comes out or comes around that, again, we had a little bit of knowledge because it started attacking other places first before it came here. But instead of taking that knowledge that we had of what the virus is affecting and changing our habits and our systems to better prepare ourselves internally from a prevention standpoint, we now are sitting where companies and businesses are saying we have one of two options. One is we shut down again, which we probably can't afford to do. If you're one of the few companies that lasted through the COVID shutdown, you're very fortunate. And you're looking at it going, we can't take another hit like that this soon. So what are we going to do? Well, the only other option is to say, if the vaccine is out there and it's supposed to work, and by the way, statistically, from what the odds and the statistics are showing, the vaccine is working from a prevention of major illness and a prevention of death standpoint. So these businesses, hospitals, government organizations are all looking at it going, the best chance we have to survive this as a business is to mandate it to our employees, to our vendors, to whoever we can control to minimize the spread within our facility to keep our business alive. So why wouldn't they do that? It's pretty simple. When you look at it that way, it's pretty simple. And you can say that it's encroaching on your freedoms and it's encroaching on this and that. And I understand all that. And I'm not going to argue one way or the other on that. I'm just simply looking at it from the standpoint of we were in this situation. We were given the opportunity to come out of it. We didn't take advantage of that. And so now these organizations and companies that are starting to mandate the vaccine are looking at it going, you had the opportunity to change over here and you didn't do it. So why would we listen to you now that there's a new variable and we're going to force this upon you? If you want to stay here, you want to work here, you want to be a part of this organization, you want to do any of those things, this is what's coming. Because point blank, they don't trust you to do it yourself. Because, hello, statistically, we've shown them we are not going to do it ourselves. So that's where this all boils down to, is that you have an option. Okay? You have an option. The option is take care of your health to boost your immune system, or realize that there's going to be mandates because you're not taking care of your health and you're not doing the things that you need to do. And so therefore you're going to get stuck, both literally and figuratively, living in a life maybe you don't want to live, whether it's good or bad for you or not. I don't care. And I'm not arguing that point. But if you don't want the vaccine, you're going to get stuck in a position where maybe you're forced to get it because you're not on the other side of it taking care of your health. When they can look at you and tell you, here's the statistics. Here's what is happening. And if you go in there and they say, okay, well, let's do, if they're generous, they say, let's do a blood test. Let's do all these tests to see what's going on with your health. Let's see where your health is. And if you can prove to me that you're healthy, then maybe we'll give you a break and not let you, not mandate it for you. Well, right now, there's only 25 to 28% of Americans that can meet that criteria simply on one criteria, being overweight. That's not to mention the hundreds of thousands, millions of people in America that have high blood pressure that are not overweight, because that happens mostly because of diet. The people that have underlying heart disease, the people that have diabetes, the people that have cancer, the people, all these things that are not overweight. And I've run the statistics, and guess what? The actual number of people that, based on a definition of what is healthy, no chronic disease, being of proper weight, which is not necessarily like the uber fit, you have to be less than 10% body fat, no, but just being at a healthy weight based on a BMI scale, that you exercise on a regular basis, and that you follow a proper meal plan. There's 4 things, 4 criteria. It's less than 5% of people in America meet those 4 criteria. Statistically, less than 5%. So if you're one of the less than 5% of Americans that is absolutely, you're absolutely healthy, then you have an argument. In my mind, you have an argument. But that means 95% of people don't have an argument when it comes to them saying, here's the situation. If you have one of these things, you're more likely to have a severe symptom, the severe reaction, severe issues, potentially leading to death with this new variant. If you're not, go take care of yourself and be healthy. But if it's my business, and I'm especially a hospital or a very large business that's reliant on a number of people to be there, or even a small business that's maybe not reliant on that. And I'm looking at it and I'm saying, if 30% of my people go out for 2 weeks because they're sick, that causes me a major disruption. Whether the government shuts me down, the local government, the federal government, whoever, whether they shut me down because I fit into a category that they're going to start closing things again or not. If 30% of my workforce goes out sick, how am I supposed to maintain business? That's why hospitals are mandating their employees get the vaccine. Because if you're sick, where are you going? You're going to the hospital, right? You're going to the doctor's office. So all these sick people are coming in. And guess what? The hospital system is not some crazy uber healthy system of employees. They're Americans just like you and me. And so those people are suffering from the same issues of being overweight, obese, diabetes, cancer, high blood pressure, heart disease, all the same things at the same percentages. So if the hospital is looking at it and going, we gave them the opportunity, they have the knowledge, they didn't take care of themselves. Now we're at 75% of our workforce is vulnerable to this new variant. And if everybody with this variant is coming to us, we need to be as protected as possible. And if you're not going to protect yourself by proving that you're being healthy and that you're taking action to be healthy, then we are going to take action for you, because we cannot be shut down, because we are the hospital. We cannot afford to lose 30% of our workforce or 40% of our workforce and have you be the person that is now in the hospital bed looking for somebody to treat you and take care of you. So to me, it makes complete logical sense that they are going to be mandating this in the hospital system. It doesn't have to be that way. But where we are today, I think we don't have a choice, because for the last year to 15 months, people have not taken care of themselves. And so how do you take care of yourself? How do you prevent yourself from being overweight, from being obese, from having chronic disease, from having all these issues? Well, you've started in a good place because you're listening to me and you're hopefully getting some solid advice from me that is going to help you with how do you help your immune system at the cellular level prevent any of these viruses from taking hold within you, from allowing, you're not going to prevent the exposure. Okay. You're not going to prevent exposure unless you live by yourself and never leave your house. You're not going to prevent exposure. So your best bet, if you're against the vaccine, and I'm not saying that the vaccine is a good red, I'm saying according to what the CDC is saying, what the people that created a vaccine are saying as far as the effectiveness of the vaccine. So you can do the vaccine. If you're not going to do the vaccine, your absolute best bet is a healthy immune system and a tough, strong immune system that's ready for any fight. Because as soon as that virus comes in contact with you, you can get rid of it. You can push it away. Your immune system can do that, if it's not already struggling and dealing with other chronic issues. And that's all led by being overweight and obese. And improper nutrition is what leads to being overweight and obese. And improper nutrition is what leads to a faulty immune system. So it all starts with what you eat. It all starts with how you take care of your body at the cellular level. And if you're not providing the right nutrition, then it's really, really hard to be healthy. It's really, really hard if you're not providing the right nutrition. Is that the only piece you have to do? No, but it's a big chunk of the puzzle is the nutrition piece, especially as you get older and you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s. It's a huge piece of that puzzle. So take care of your health through eating healthy. And what that looks like is 80% plant-based diet. It looks like not just, okay, I'm going to eat 80% of my meals are going to be from plants, and I'm going to eat broccoli, and I'm going to eat green beans, and I'm going to eat corn, and I may have some lettuce and tomatoes. Those 5 things. Those are my 5 plants, and I'm going to eat those every day. And I'll eat, 8 parts of that and 2 parts of meat, whether that's steak, chicken, ground beef, fish, venison, buffalo burgers, whatever it is, pork. So I'm going to have 2 strips of bacon, a couple of eggs, and maybe a 2 slices of tomatoes. Well, that's not 80% plant-based right there. And the point is that if you're only eating those 5 vegetables, you're not getting a wide enough variety and exposure of different nutrients and minerals and phytonutrients that your body needs at the cellular level. There's no one uber great vegetable or fruit. There's some that are a lot better than others, but there's no one that you can just say, I can just eat that one thing forever and I might get all the nutrients I need. Of course not. You have to eat a variety. And when you eat a variety, it actually makes it easier to eat an 80% plant-based diet, because then you don't get tired of eating green beans at every meal. You don't get tired of eating broccoli at every meal. Every meal is different. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different types of plant products that we can eat, that our digestive system can handle. There's hundreds and hundreds. So mix it up, change it up. Ideally, you want to have 30 to 40 different plant variations in your meals throughout the week. 30 to 40, because that's going to give you exposure across a wide range of vitamins and minerals. And that's what your body needs. So when you're looking at it and saying, how do I boost my immune system quickly? That's one way to do it. There's other ways. Unfortunately, there's not much in the way of a pill, other than unless you're taking the actual vitamins to boost any deficiencies that you have that's going to help your immune system. So like an actual vitamin A or vitamin C or vitamin B or calcium or any of those vitamins that you're taking. But that's not a one pill fixes everything type of thing. That's let's boost these minerals and vitamins that we are deficient in. Let's boost these enzymes that we are deficient in. And most Americans are deficient in something, if not multiple vitamins, minerals, enzymes, electrolytes. So those are huge ways to do it. Another big thing to do is get proper sleep. Sleep. I've done multiple podcasts on sleep. Getting proper sleep is hugely important. And another thing is hydration. Most Americans are dehydrated every single minute of every single day. Most Americans are sleep deprived by up to, on average, over 2 years, 2.25 years. So almost 2.5 years. Most Americans, by the time they reach age 40, are almost 2.5 years sleep deprived. That means that you could go to sleep at 40 and wake up at 42.5, and you caught up in the sleep that you lost. Think about that. If all your repair is happening, if all your strength building from your immune system standpoint is not all of it, but a lot of it is happening when you sleep. You're getting rid of toxins when you sleep. If all these things are happening when you're asleep and you're sleep deprived, no wonder your immune system's haywire, right? So getting proper sleep, hydrating your body, so that the things in your body that are moving around can move around quicker and easier, because there's hydration that helps them flow. It's like the Tin Man needs grease, or grease needs oil, right? To move around. That's what hydration does in your body. Your body's mostly water. Give it more of it. It needs more. Okay? So eating plant-based, hydration, sleep, making sure you're getting your vitamins and minerals, and making sure that you're not deficient in anything. Those are the big key areas. That's really simple. We had a year, 15 months to fix it. And the clients that I work with, let me tell you, on average, it takes 3 months. Not to become uber healthy, not to lose all the weight that they need to lose, to get your body healthy on the inside to where your immune system is now functioning properly. On average, it takes 3 months to 6 months. But most of them is at 3 months, unless they're really sick when they come to me. So it's, if it can happen in 3 months, and we had 15 months, we had 5 times the opportunity to get it done, and we failed. So of course, they're going to mandate it. We had 5 times the opportunity to get it done and to show that we were going to move in that direction. And we failed. That's it. That's point blank. We failed. And so whether you trust it or not, it's coming. Because you've proven that you're not going to do the work on your own. And it's not that the government wants to save you and save your life and all that. I mean, granted, if you're not here, you're not paying taxes. And so there's less taxes, right? Because they can only tax you when you're alive. So they've got motivation to keep you around. But your company definitely does. I already talked about that. The place you work has motivation to keep you around. You know what you're doing, and you help them keep the doors open so they can make a profit, so they can continue to do what they do. Not that that's bad. It's not bad to make a profit. It's not bad to do all those things. Those are good things. But that's where we've landed. That's where we've landed. So my advice to you through all of this is get yourself healthy as quick as you can. Get yourself healthy, because it's coming. It's coming. Whether you like it or not, it's coming. And your only argument is going to be the health of your internal body. It's the only argument you're going to be able to stand on. Because when they show you the statistics and they show you what's happening, the only argument you can land on, and this is the argument, I've used it with my doctor when he's asked me about the flu shot in the past, pre-COVID. I've used it. You should get the flu shot. I said, I don't think I need the flu shot, but you should get the flu shot. Yeah, but it's got this in it. It's got that in it. And I don't want that in my body. Oh, but you should get the flu shot. Oh, but it's not that effective. But wait, hey, how about the fact that my immune system is stronger than anybody else's because I am uber healthy, and I focus on what goes in my body, and I focus on take care of myself. And he goes, yeah, you're probably right. He still says, think about it. He still says, I want you to do it. But he's okay with my argument because he knows when it comes to me, I am not going to be as susceptible as anybody else to the severe side effects and issues of the flu. So that's just one example. And I am not comparing the flu to COVID, other than the fact that they are both viruses. Be very clear about that. They're both viruses, and that's the only comparison. So the point being, we had 15 months to prove that we were going to be healthy, to prove that we were going to take care of ourselves, to prove that we were going to move the needle. And the needle moved in the wrong direction. So now we are where we are. You've got a choice. You've got a choice. You've got options. And there's pretty much only 2 of them. One, do everything you can to get healthy. Two, if you don't do that, you're going to have to suffer the other option and consequences of decision making between, do I keep my job where they're mandating the vaccine, or not get the vaccine and lose my job because I don't believe in the vaccine or whatever reason you don't want to take it. So personally, if you want to get the vaccine, that's not an excuse not to still get healthy. So whether you get the vaccine or not, that's not my decision. That's your decision for now until it's mandated. But I highly urge you to start getting healthy, because that is definitely 100% the best way to prevent not just COVID, not just the Delta variant, anything. It's the best prevention tool that we have. It works every time. Get yourself healthy. Make your cells healthy. Yes, it goes against everything that society is wanting to push on you, especially from the food supply system, because we've not gone to be a healthy society. We've not grown to be that. But it's where we need to be. And hopefully the tide will turn soon. And as the old saying goes, and this virus is showing itself, it's showing this saying to be true. It comes down to survival of the fittest. And you could twist that a little bit to say not just fit, but survival of the healthiest. If you're not going to be healthy, it's going to be really hard for you to survive. It's going to be really hard for you to thrive, because more and more things are coming at you. More and more viruses, more and more chronic diseases, and lifespans are shortening instead of elongating. And that's not where we want to be. It's not where we want to be. So get yourself healthy. Make yourself healthy. Eat those fruits and vegetables. Get help if you need help. Don't think that you can do it on your own just because I don't care if you've got a graduate degree in mechanical engineering. If you've never been able to master being healthy on your own, get help. Admit that you need help with this piece. It doesn't take a lot, but it takes somebody who's knowledgeable about nutrition, somebody who's knowledgeable about how your body works internally at the cellular level to help you understand how to read nutrition labels. That's previous podcast episode. How to understand when to eat, how to understand how to fuel your body for what you need to accomplish, and how to boost your immune system. It's not hard things to do, but it can be hard if you don't know where to start and you don't have the proper roadmap. So if you need help, get help, because help is out there. Help is out there. You don't have to do it on your own. It might cost a little bit, sure, but it's not in anywhere comparison to the cost of the future not being healthy. So go be healthy. Go take care of yourself. Hopefully we'll see you living a nice, long, healthy life. But if nothing else, do those 4 simple things. Try and eat more plants. Try and get more sleep. Try and hydrate. And get a little exercise. Those 4 things. It's not that hard. You don't have to make it super complicated. It can just be those 4 simple things. Start there. And then when you get to the point where you feel like you want to take the next step, then get help. but just start moving in the right direction this week, today. As soon as you're done with this podcast episode here in the next couple minutes, go start today. There's no time like the present, because survival of the fittest, survival of the healthiest is happening right now. Thanks for checking out the All in Health and Wellness Confidence Through Health podcast. Our goal is to use health as a conduit to help you reach your goals in life.
A little lighter than me. I'm about to black out. Her grip is getting tighter on me. I think I like it deep inside. I feel the fire in me. She like the milky, see me creaming to the coffee to me. She got soul in her sway.